you excite me a lot because from what I know, you're a 20-year-old designer right now and you've started your independent design thing as well.
Then I started exploring more UX UI design stuff, and then I got to know, okay, this is the right fit for me, and this is what I will be interested in doing.
You are not doing college, right? I mean, I don't think you're pursuing any kind of bachelor's right now, right?
So I didn't tell them that I'm pursuing or learning UX UI design. They just know that this kid is like.
No, but how did you, like, being an Indian kid, how did you even, like, convince your parents to let you do this?
You are telling people that I have learned these things, but if it is not reflecting into the portfolio, then recruiters will get to know, okay, this is just for putting that content.
Even for me, my dad, to this date, even though I've been in the field for 2 years now, he still tells me drop all this, go write UPSC exam and all that stuff.
Major source of my clients is from communities.
There's plenty of opportunities. You just need to be the loudest in the room to, like, for people to know that you're there in the room. Hi, Prathamesh.
Hello.
I wanted to have a conversation with you, get to know more about you as well. One, you excite me a lot because from what I know, you're a 20-year-old designer right now and you've started your independent design thing as well. And you've done a lot in the very first month itself. So I was excited to know more about you. If you can give a short brief about yourself, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, so my name is Prathamesh Agrawal, and currently I'm an independent designer, doing the UX UI stuff, and also no-code developer, developing sites in Framework and Webflow and all. So, initial brief of like me getting into design starts with after my 12th, I started exploring the internet, right? So initially I have this thought in mind that I want to do something of my own, and then I got to know about how apps gets built. Then I got to know about coding. So I started learning Python, but I was not getting that thing and that excitement. Okay, that I can see something visually getting built, right? Because it's all code. Then I got to know about that there is something known as UX UI design, and you can like design stuff, and you can see how. Then I started exploring more UX UI design stuff, and then I got to know, okay. Then I finally got to, okay, this is the right fit for me, and this is what I will be interested in doing. So that's how I got into the UX UI design.
Got it. And when I was reading about you, I saw that you are not doing college, right? I mean, I don't think you're pursuing any kind of bachelor's right now, right?
No, so I enrolled into one, but I missed exam because I have gotten the internship into Bangalore, so I didn't got the time to go for the exam. But now I have enrolled and I will be giving my first year exam very soon, hopefully.
You'll be giving what exam again?
First year exam,
First
become first
year.
year. It is like open. I'm doing it from open university, so there is no
Okay.
pressure. I can like do my work and give the exam also.
No,
That's
but
how
how
I'm
did
doing.
you, like, being an Indian kid, how did you even, like, convince your parents to let you do this?
Yeah, so what happened is I'm from the commerce background, right?
Okay.
So I enrolled into CMA, so it is like CA only. So
Hmm.
I enrolled into CA. I like completed the foundation itself, right? So while doing CA, many kids what they do for completing their graduation, they do this open graduation, right, from open
Hmm.
university.
Hmm.
So that was there. But while doing this CMA foundation, I got interested into UX UI designing.
Hmm.
So I didn't tell them that I'm pursuing or learning UX UI design. They just know that this kid is like doing something on his laptop in his
Hmm.
free time, and I
Hmm.
didn't initially told them. So directly when I built my portfolio and I started applying, I didn't tell them I'm applying, and I just
Hmm.
told them I'm not taking it seriously. It is just kind of hobby thing. But
Hmm.
then I got internship, and it
Hmm.
was a pretty good internship. I
Hmm.
have gotten chance to like shift to Bangalore, and
Hmm.
once they know that like even parents don't, okay, this is there is career in it. He's going to earn his own money, and there is chance to shift into Bangalore. So
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
them, like Bangalore is a big thing, right? Okay, like you are moving out to a big city. That's why from the point where they can see the proper result of pursuing me that career, so they are very fine with that whole thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So,
Where are you from again? I couldn't catch that.
so I am from Nagpur, but not
Nagpur.
properly from Nagpur.
Hmm.
From Nagpur also there is one district named Yavatmal. So I am properly from
Okay.
Yavatmal. Yeah.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. I think that's the case with I think a lot of Indian folks. Because even for me, my dad to this date, even though I've been
Yeah.
in the field for 2 years now, he still tells me drop all this, go write UPSC exam and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But once they start seeing that we make good money and like we are
Yeah.
going after something that we like, then they'll be like, okay, I think you can do this. I see the confidence that you have. So I think that's a very similar story when I had. But
The problem with
hmm,
the problem with our field is you cannot explain it to them, right?
yeah, yeah,
They have that thing in mind. Okay, he will give the UPSC, he will get passed, and he will get the government job. But you
government job.
cannot
Hmm,
explain your work to them, like what is product
hmm.
design. So you will we can just give them example. If you see WhatsApp, the WhatsApp is designed by some designer, and after it gets developed, so they will have some thought or knowledge about the coding thing, but designing it's get designed that thing, explaining whole that thing, they don't like get it easily. So
True, and
that
also the two things about that is one, when they think of design, especially people at my parents' age, they think it's more like some art kind of thing.
yeah,
One, second thing is also they. I don't think they know what happens after UPSC. They just know it's an exam. They'll probably get an IAS or something,
yeah,
but they don't know what they do in the job. Like how they don't know what I do in my design job. Is just
yeah,
that the stability factor that it's been there for so many years and every big person has done it makes them
yeah,
want us also to do it, I feel. But
yeah,
yeah, I think it's always good to take risk if we know that we are confident in our skills. So that's
yeah,
something even I aspire to be. So you started around, I from what I know, around June 2021 is when you started like getting into
yeah,
design, right? And I think
yes.
for a year of sorts you just like were upskilling yourself, and I think around March 2022 is when you started like putting out content online. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how did that 1 year of like upskilling go, and like why did you choose to like start sharing your work online?
So, initially, I know that I need to put out contents so that even recruiters will get to know, or the
Hmm.
community will get me to know. But I
Hmm.
was not confident about like what kind of content I should put, right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
see top five plugins or top five tools,
Hmm.
that is like very generic content. Like people
Hmm.
don't value that content that much. So I thought like I should put more of a content of a learning perspective. This is what I have learned, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
like what I'm learning, sharing that thing, and reflecting the same thing into the portfolio. So that is very important thing, right? Your portfolio, like you're all learning. If you are telling people that I have learned this things, but
Hmm.
it is not reflecting into the portfolio, then recruiters will get to know, okay, this is just for putting that content. And especially
Hmm.
in today's time, like the content is like pretty much available everywhere, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
implementing those content and implementing those learning into actual product and in reflecting that thing in portfolio, I guess that matters the most, right? So I
True.
started putting out all that content on that basis.
Got it. And you started out writing on Medium first, and then shifting into other platforms, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Why was that so? And as far as I could see, I think you didn't go the normal approach where people, when they start putting on content, they write case studies, and then they like try to do. I mean, usually people just do that. They write case studies and stuff. But you actively started writing about design and stuff. So what made you do that?
Yeah, so I thought like there is one thing like which I saw online. It was like there are many when I was like in that race of getting the internship, right? So
Hmm.
there was many videos I used to watch, and one video that told that recruiters always look for some like extra factor, right?
Hmm.
How you're standing out from the
The crowd.
crowd, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
what I thought like if a recruiter can see that you are putting the blogs, right,
Hmm.
and that is
Hmm.
not related to just design or
Hmm.
any like related stuff, but you are putting out actual blogs which is written by you, which is like having the good content and your learning, then it can become that X factor of you getting hired. Right.
Got
So
it.
that's why
Hmm.
I started putting content and like genuinely getting interested into that. And once you get like once you post the content, you will get some claps on the medium, and that cycle like begins. Right.
Hmm.
You will see, okay, there is some response I'm getting on that, and you will put more content. So that's how
Hmm.
I started putting out content, and eventually once I started having my case studies, I was started putting my case studies as well.
Got it. And now, which platform do you use majorly for like putting out content or like
So
sharing your work?
yeah, so majorly I use LinkedIn nowadays,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
because the LinkedIn is like I have grown a like, lot of followings from people who are like getting into design or learning design. So
Hmm.
there are many tools which I find, right? So sharing that thing, And
Hmm.
especially again, I majorly what I do, if there is some project which I execute, I directly put it into my portfolio, and
Hmm.
my portfolio means like my portfolio website and on Contra profile as well. And you
Hmm.
can just announce that thing on like LinkedIn or Twitter, and like bring out that audience to your portfolio or to the Contra profile, right? And
Hmm.
for major content, I use Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm not that active on Medium. Like
Hmm.
currently, last what I have posted is the Bumble case study, which I have
Yeah.
done for the design fellowship.
Which is
Yeah,
actually a
so
fantastic case study. I mean, I went through that. I really like the fact that you kept a room recording, which was also very short, and that
yeah,
was actually very nice idea. You spoke about LinkedIn and Twitter right now, right? Where do you usually get your clients from? Like,
yeah.
which platform benefits you the most right now?
So from a client perspective, the Twitter is much better, right? Because
Hmm.
there are people on Twitter who needs your work. In
Hmm.
LinkedIn, there are more people who are getting into design, right? They are not
Hmm.
recruiters.
Hmm.
There are recruiters, but very
Hmm.
few.
Hmm.
Majorly, the recruiters or people who can be benefited from my skill are on Twitter, right?
Got it. Hmm. Hmm. Makes sense.
So in comparison of LinkedIn to Twitter, Twitter is like more superior in terms of clients.
Got it. That's actually a good way to put it. Like LinkedIn is right now, at least for more of helping people,
Yeah,
and Twitter is more to get help for ourselves. I
yeah,
was going through your profile and I saw that when you were in your 11th or 12th, you helped a friend, and I can see that nature now also that you want to help the people who are getting into
yeah,
design field. And I remember I see, coming across this one thing where you had made a career roadmap for a friend of yours. That was
yeah,
pretty interesting. I've never seen that any mentor mentee relationship where a person actually gives a roadmap, and it's like a to-do list thing, kind of roadmap. So that was
yeah.
pretty interesting. So can you elaborate on that? Like, what was your thought process, and how would you suggest like other people to do that as well?
Yeah, so one thing, like, especially when I got out of my 12th,
Hmm.
when I used to watch the video of people telling ki you can learn skill, you can get internship, and you can set up your career, I
Hmm.
also used to get amazed. Okay, this
Hmm.
thing, how is this possible? I have never heard of this. And if
Hmm.
it is so, it is so like accessible to everyone, like everyone can do it, why not people are doing it? Like
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
I was in that mood.
Hmm.
But when I started getting into design, I saw okay, there is so much content available, like so much of the content, and that
Hmm.
to quality content. It's not like
Hmm.
the things which are taught into some of MIT and stuff that is
Hmm.
available online, right?
Hmm.
Then
Hmm. Hmm.
and once I got internship, right, and I saw that thing. Okay, I don't have any degree, I don't have any association with any organization or any design boot camp or anything, and
But
I have gotten the internship totally from my like what I have learned from internet.
internet, true.
So once you get that thing,
Hmm.
you will start suggesting that same thing to the people. Okay, so this is the like gold pot. You can take benefit of it.
A
So
benefit of
one
it.
of my friend was also there, and he was also interested in digital marketing and stuff. So I
Hmm.
told him the same thing, that if you have the skill in your mind which you need to learn, you can learn it from the internet. So I suggested him the roadmap, like learn the
Hmm.
skill, build projects,
Hmm.
show, make portfolio, apply to internship. From
Hmm.
internship, you will get the job, and initially you can make like this is how the roadmap should work. So I
Hmm.
guess I have given him that roadmap, and he implemented that thing, and it
Hmm.
benefited him. And it
Hmm.
is not
Hmm.
like he is the only one to whom I given that roadmap. I have
Rama.
like there are many friends who to whom I told that okay, try this thing out, try learn this thing,
Hmm.
or try this skill out, right? And
Hmm.
eventually you will find the skill which will work for you,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So whatever he implemented, and you can see, okay, this is the thing which has worked for me.
Hmm.
That's why like he's very grateful for that whole roadmap thing. Man.
True, and that's actually a fantastic idea because even when I've given advice to anyone, or even when I used to take advice, or even when I take advice right now, it's more of just verbal things. But
Yeah,
you writing it down for that person, what XYZ steps that you need to take, is actually a brilliant advice. I think I hope more mentors or even mentees ask for this in their next mentorship sessions. But moving forward, I wanted to ask you about we are speaking about roadmaps, right? So, for how did you upskill yourself? Like, was there a roadmap that you followed? Like, how do you, or rather, how do you upskill yourself right now? Like, for example, I know that you have gotten into Framer and stuff. So, how do you upskill yourself right now? Is there a framework for this?
I will not tell the framework thing, but I
Hmm.
will tell more of your source of the content.
Hmm.
Right. What is
Hmm.
your source of the content you are consuming? Right.
Hmm.
That matters the most. See, if you are going to learn stuff from an average person, he will tell
Hmm.
you average things, and you will
Hmm.
become just average
Average.
of that average.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you need to make sure not on the amount of content you are consuming, but the
Hmm.
quality of content you are consuming. Right.
True.
Learning design or taking advice from a designer who has worked at Apple, or
Hmm.
learning design or some stuff from a person who is just a random person.
Hmm.
So obviously, if even if I am taking 5 minutes of teaching from the designer who has worked at Apple, that is way much valuable than taking teaching from a person, a random person for 1 or 2 hours, right?
No, not too
So
much.
that is
True.
good.
Hmm. True.
Right. So then I started finding like where can I get people who have worked at company, and one of the top sources is Twitter.
Hmm.
Like
True.
on Twitter, people are genuinely there for sharing stuff
Yeah.
without bringing the cringe of LinkedIn, right? Not
Yeah.
sharing that long form content and stuff. They will directly get to the point. They will, and there are, if you deep down into Twitter, you will find like the tutorials and advices which are like you will be like, oh, this is the thing which not many people are doing, and this is also
Right.
possible, right?
True. True.
Especially the if you see even the tool maker, right, the Framer team and
Yeah.
marketing team of Framer
Yeah.
or Contra or Figma, they have also understood this thing, right?
Hmm.
That Twitter is the place where people are sharing stuff. So they have also become active. So even if you see the people working at Framer, people working at Figma, people working at Contra, they are active on Twitter because they know that
True.
quality people are here who can be benefited to the platform, and they know that once quality people are coming to your platform, they will create stuff on your platform which not an average person can create, right? So
True.
I will
True.
tell you like getting like first making sure that the content you are consuming or the teachings you are taking should be from a quality person who has some authority or hands dirty into the field, right?
Hmm.
So that's how I upskill myself.
Hmm.
Second thing, what I will tell you is, or you or anyone who is into design industry, uh, when you are approaching any certain problem for
Hmm.
like upskilling into a particular thing,
Hmm.
it is not you are not the first person encountering that problem
Problem.
or that thing. There are many people who have already faced that problem and they have built stuff,
Yeah. True.
right? So look out for that thing. One of the
Hmm.
things which I found interesting is the Figma community. It is such an underrated thing.
Commentary.
Like
Hmm.
even before, like if anyone got any problem statement and you
Hmm.
have to design a certain app or something, just
Hmm.
go onto the Figma community. Just
Hmm.
put that thing, and you will find that things are already built, and
True.
you can
True.
do, and your like 20 to 30% of research work, your work is already done there, so don't
Hmm.
waste your time in that. And once you will look out into that work, that will reflect on you like, okay, there is so much stuff out there I can learn from it which is already done, and you will
Done.
develop your taste with that design, and you will like eventually you will come out with a output which is way superior than the inspirations you have taken and which is out there. So it becomes combination of your creativity, the work which is already presented there, and the learnings which you have got in your whole journey. So that output is much more valuable than any output which is out there or starting it from scratch or anything, right?
Exactly. And even I keep preaching this that you need to start first. And whenever you get stuck, you go to communities, you go on Twitter, ask what you
Yeah,
need, like go reach out to people who have done it before, and then like get help from them. Because if
yeah,
you just keep consuming content at first, upfront, there's nothing will happen. It will just be
yeah,
procrastination. And so many of people I know, they've come to me and telling that I've been doing this boot camp, this course for like 2 3 months, nothing has happened. I'm like, just write the case studies for now, and then you
yeah,
ask ask for feedback, and that's pretty much like you're 80% done over there. But people usually don't do that. We
yeah.
spoke a lot about consumption, right? But I'm more curious, so you can think about this and answer. I'm more curious of how you separate consumption versus creation. Like, do you consume first and then create, or like what's your process like?
Yeah. So that's a like really great question. So how we can see this thing is, always like building on top of the stuff, right?
Hmm.
What we can see. So if you consume things like there is that rule that create more, consume less,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But consuming less doesn't mean like consuming nothing. It means
Yeah.
consuming less, but the quality content.
Quality content. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So you can take many instances. So there is what we can tell. So there can be a trend, and
Hmm.
under that there can be the things which are getting built. So let's
Hmm.
say the trend is built in public,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So within that built-in public trend, there are many people building variety of stuff. So some
True.
founders will be sharing their SaaS stuff.
Hmm.
Some designer will be sharing their making their design public and putting out into the community,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you can take inspiration from that.
Hmm.
But what is needed from you if you are learning ABC,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You should not be putting out ABC,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
You should be making that ABC to D, E, F, and eventually making it big, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
always take something inspiration, consume that stuff, but don't just make it very rigid. Like
Hmm.
someone has told me that the padding should be 12 pixel. Don't take it
Hmm.
as 12 pixel. Go
12
into
pixel.
that stuff. Take that button,
Hmm.
expand the padding.
Experiment. Hmm.
If that is looking good to you, there are many chances that it will look too good to others, right? So make it
Others.
your own. So taking the
Experiment.
work, making it your own,
Hmm.
experimenting with that stuff, and then creating the output. That is more important for like me. Like always putting your mind into the
True.
stuff which you are taking, not taking it as it is and putting it as it is, right? There should be
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
work done by you, right?
Got it. Got it. And that makes total sense. The framework I use right now is, I think I saw this in one Ali Abdal video where if you want to get to know about something, you actually just start. Then you
Yeah,
either consume a podcast, read a book or something, and then you, like you told, you can take the inspiration from that, whatever they're done. Like example, if they're told use 12 padding, you can take that 12 padding, experiment with it, do something else, and then that will actually help your solution instead of just copying the existing solution. So yeah, I think
yeah.
that works as a fantastic framework as well. You so you we spoke about you upskilling and stuff. Now you also, I mean, I also know that you've worked for a year, like from a normal 9 to 5. How was that
Yeah.
experience for you?
Yeah, so that was not a like proper 9 to 5 thing. It was a
Hmm.
startup and pretty good startup, ethics startup.
Hmm.
They are named Trinity. They are providing courses in data analytics,
Hmm.
right? So so it was a very early stage startup, and the time where I joined, it was a very early, right? So I was
Hmm.
not only doing the designing,
Hmm.
but you can take it like doing some initial product management to like then eventually designing stuff, then shipping the stuff,
Hmm.
not development, but shipping that stuff and then taking analytics.
Hmm.
So the exposure which I have gotten there, right, and
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
kind of upskilling which happened into that tech startup
Hmm.
it is like a university experience for me,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like even if I have gotten into a university, done a 5 year degree course, the experience which I have gotten in that I guess I will become the like the output will almost same,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So while being there, I got to know like many things, right?
Hmm.
Like which are not true, which you see on social media or from any creator. When
Hmm.
it comes to actually building product, there are many rules which you need to break.
Hmm.
There is absolute need of pace when it comes to startups, especially, right? You cannot
Execution.
you cannot use creativity as an excuse to the execution and the pace of the execution which you need to ship the product, right?
True.
So getting that real idea of what product design is, how products get built, how eventually users uses them, how you need to take feedback from users and then incorporate into product. So that
Hmm.
experience was like from that startup, like it affects like it has helped me grow a lot as a product designer.
As a product designer, got it. But from what I know, you started out initially freelancing for different clients. Then you went
Yeah,
into this hybrid 9 to 5 sort of role, helping a company from scratch. And then you came back into freelance in the past month, right? Why
yeah.
was that so? Like, why not build in early stage startups, continue as a 9 to 5, and why adventure back into this freelance thing? What was the decision? I mean, what is the reason behind this decision?
Yeah. So it was less of a like from any organization kind of point, but more of my personal decision. Like
Hmm.
I got to see like when I was working as like at the startup, I used to get many requests for freelancing, but I never did that because I
Hmm.
have the job. I
Hmm.
have my courses or my stuff to learn, so that's why I didn't take up any freelance stuff. But
Hmm.
after a point, like I got this feeling that I can build my own thing, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, that and I can have that freedom of mind, like working
Freedom.
in my routine
Yeah.
and being independent from any company, not having that tag on yourself, but you are being yourself, right? You
Hmm.
can so that eventually led me into like uh, becoming an independent again, right? And
Hmm.
one thing is that I get a lot of time to upskill myself to the field which I want, right? So, for
Hmm. Hmm.
example,
Hmm.
if today AI is taking up, right? And
Hmm.
I want to
Hmm.
learn the AI.
Hmm.
When I am an independent, I can learn the AI and I can implement that AI thing right away, right?
Right
Uh,
away.
wh-
True.
when I learned it. But in
Hmm.
organization, that is not the thing. If you are designer, you will do designing. You cannot experiment a lot
A
because
lot.
there
Yeah.
are certain. It is not the mistake of the startup also.
Hmm.
Because there is business need. You need to
Business
check some
needs.
products, and you cannot experiment a lot. There are some constraints because of there is business which needs to earn money, and
True.
you cannot
True.
experiment and build some other things while not focusing on the core thing. You have certain things to do, and that will I will not say harm your skill, but that will not allow you to like explore more stuff or
Explore.
try out more things and learn more things, right? So
It puts
that's
you in a
why
box. It puts you in a
yeah, yeah,
box.
yeah, definitely. And after
True.
once a startup grows or a company grows, there
Hmm.
are certain roles which will be assigned to you. Okay, you will
Hmm.
be doing this stuff and not expanding yourself into
Hmm.
like too many fields. So that's why I thought like becoming an independent, like again upscaling and getting everything in my hands will be like a better decision. That's why I like became independent.
Independent designing. Okay, that's actually pretty exciting. Even so, even I'm a. I don't know if I have to call myself an independent designer or if I should call myself a freelancer. Even I'm confused between all the terms. But I am also along the same lines as you, and even I like the
Yeah.
independence that you get. You can do different kind of things, and you can do it at your own pace as well. I'll totally love that. In fact, I'm actually very eager to know about your AI thing that you spoke about, how you have automated things. But before we
Yeah.
get into that, I just wanted to know how your funnel looks like. Like, how do you get your clients right now?
Yeah. So, first things, major source of my clients is from communities, right?
Communities. Which communities?
Yeah. So there are many communities. Let's say there are Slack communities of Contra, and one thing which I will share like with anyone watching there. So
Hmm.
when you are freelancing or you
Hmm.
want to get clients,
Hmm.
you will get many clients in design community as well. But try
Hmm.
to join communities where there are actual clients lying, right? So
You mean
clients
like
are not
founders?
yeah, there are founders,
Hmm.
there are no-code builders, there are SaaS
Hmm.
founders,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So try to
Hmm.
join those kind of communities where are entrepreneurs, where
Hmm.
are the founders are there, right? So
Yeah.
why people get the client? Because there are founders actually building stuff there who
Yeah.
have that
Hmm.
environment, right? So
True.
try to join communities where our founders are there. So many, I have joined many no-code communities where our agency owners are there, right? Who
Hmm.
actually
Hmm.
needs
Hmm. Hmm.
you in
Need
helping
you.
them out in their agencies, right? So there are
Hmm.
there are contra communities. There are many no code agency owners community, right? You need to
Hmm.
find that you can get that community very easily. You are just one Google search away, and you
One
will
such
get
way.
a lot of clients. But
Hmm.
community is not very popular in freelancers, but I guess that is one of the underrated source of clients which not many
Thanks.
people go. And
Got
one
it.
thing while joining community is like it's not like you will join a community and people will come to you. You need
Hmm.
to actively participate in community. Like you need to
Yeah.
introduce yourself. Right.
True.
You
True.
if
True.
someone is putting out something, you need to encourage them and you can
Yeah.
tell them, okay, there is something missing there. I can help you out with that. And
True.
eventually they will do you. So there should be some genuineness of giving something to the community, and community will automatically give you back. It is
Give
not
you
like
back.
you have to actively reach out to them that I do this kind of stuff. Can I help you out? Like you don't even need to reach out. People will see, okay, this guy who is actually active in community, who is
Hmm.
introducing himself, and his portfolio looks amazing. Amazing. I can work with him. So they will
Got it.
come to you,
True. I
right?
mean, when you told us, it makes total sense. One, I would want to know the top three. not top three, your favorite three communities that you have. But before that, I just remember the story in one podcast that I heard about Ankur Wariko, where he told he was very active on his old alumni group on WhatsApp or something, and used to be reply to every message and all that stuff. And that's how he actually got an opportunity to work on his startup initially. So that's like, I mean, it's still there in my head that you, whenever you join a community, try to be as active as possible so that it benefits
Yeah,
you. And before that, like, give at first, and then you can
yeah.
give it, I mean, and then you can get a take. That will be totally worth it then.
And
But
it's not like you have to actively take it. People will come to you genuinely.
true, true,
It is,
true.
but you have to have that uh, proper motive of just giving
Giving,
and
yeah.
yeah, give it back to community, and community will give it back to you.
True, true. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. You just need to be the loudest in the room to, like, for
Yeah,
people to know that you're there in the room.
yeah.
Got it. But if I had to know your top three or like favorite three communities, which would that be?
Yeah. So first will be the Contras Slack. It is a very active community. Contra team engages with you. Contra team put out all the opportunities which are there.
Hmm.
Second will be the Framers community. So they run
Hmm.
on the circle.so.
Hmm.
That is very active community. You will get a lot of, and it is very pretty big. Like there are more than 10K members. And third will be the Ripens WhatsApp job boards. So there are a lot of, there are not.
Ripen is the startup, right?
Yeah, yeah, Prathamesh is a
Got
startup
it.
from Bangalore. So
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
have their WhatsApp communities. First, they used to run on Discord, but they have shifted on WhatsApp now. So they
WhatsApp.
have like three job boards, so you
Hmm.
can go on to that community. So these are my top three if I can pick.
Got it. I have heard about this other community called Blue Learn. Have you explored that?
Yeah, I have explored that, but they have their app also now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they are more of the college for college persons.
Students.
So they
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
more internships opportunity,
Hmm.
early
Hmm.
stage startup opportunity. So you will get like for beginners, absolutely, you need to join that community. You will get a lot of internships and
Hmm.
startup opportunities to work with startups. But for
Got it.
the proper independence, who are freelancing and want to get a proper high paying clients, these
Hmm.
communities which we have talked are like one of the best communities to go to.
Got it. And you spoke about Contra, right? Like in the past few months, I see Contra blowing up. Like I think a lot of
Yeah,
people are getting good clients through Contra. There was this other
yeah,
thing that I wanted to know about, which was about Next Leap. You're a top fellow at Next Leap or something,
yeah.
right? Can you explain me what that is and how that benefits you?
Yeah, so when I was about to complete my internship,
Hmm.
I was aware of the fact that I need to upskill more into the visual design aspect,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was my primary focus while joining the Next Leap design bootcamp.
Hmm.
I done the bootcamp. I got to learn a lot of things because there are very like industry experts who are teaching that thing. So I
Hmm.
saw that thing like there are many good mentors who are going to teach you stuff, and it was a practical course. So it was
Hmm.
conducted by Experian, and it was like through Experian they collaborated with Nextip and they have designed their design bootcamp,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So it was like a really good experience with for me to join their bootcamp, and the case study of that Bumble, it is like
Hmm.
the part of that Nextip design bootcamp only.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, I really love about that case study. Did that case study help you? Because I've not seen much case studies from you, as far as I know. I think that was one of the solid case studies that you have. But now, when you go out for work, do people actually ask for case studies, or is it the products that you have built? Like, how important do you think is writing a case study once you start building stuff in real life?
Yeah. So case studies are good for you to get started. Right. The
Started.
passion
Hmm.
project and
Hmm.
the case studies are good for you to start it. But after the point, like after 1 or 2 years you are into the industry, what matters the most is the impact you have created and the
Created.
products on which you have built. Right.
Built. Hmm.
So if I will, let's say I have designed some section of the LMS at Trinity,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I will make a case. I can make a very good case study,
Hmm.
and I can just present it to recruiters.
Hmm.
They will be impressed, but not that. But if I
Hmm.
can directly tell them, when I joined Trinity, there are 3,000 student base, and I have scaled it to like 10,000 student base and manage that whole LMS. So that
Hmm.
is the impact which you have created, right? Taking that
True.
user
True.
call You can even share, like there are, I have many testimonials of students telling me that you guys have improved the elements a lot. So that is the
Hmm.
impact you have created, and
Hmm.
that will take you away from a crowd very much, right? Because crowd will
Hmm.
come with case study, but if you are coming with the proper product experience, so, it will set you apart by miles,
Nice.
right?
True, 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 true. And we spoke about you using AI, right? I'm very
Right.
curious to know when you say you're using AI to automate tasks in
Yeah.
freelancing, basically. What do you do? Like, how does it benefit you, and like, what are like the practical things that people can follow right now, which will help them?
So, first of all, like what I will tell you, one of my instances of personal using. Whenever I used to like watch any freelance opportunity which is out there, the one task which like not irritate me, but I'm not very interested
Fan
in doing that. That is writing the cover letter,
cover
right?
letter. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, for every opportunity, you have to write a cover letter,
Cover
and I was
letter.
like, "What is that, man?" Like, I have to again write the same thing.
Same
Like,
thing.
I am
Yeah.
Prathamesh Agrawal, I am an independent designer, I can do. So what I did is, I went to ChatGPT, but
Hmm.
again, ChatGPT is not producing the uniform content all
Hmm.
the time.
Hmm.
So there
Hmm.
is one tool named Hubble, right? Hubble.
Hubble. Okay.
Hubble.ai.
Okay.
They
Okay.
have also Rubble.ai, so they both are like pretty much part of the same tool. So
Okay.
what it allows you to build chatbots and the forms, AI forms. So
Hmm.
AI forms, like you can put, you just need to put certain fields and it will generate the output as you have already built it. It is like
Okay.
no code tool, right?
Okay.
So I have built one like cover letter writer for myself, which where I have already added the input fields. So
Hmm.
what I will do is, like, it already has everything of mine what I am,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I will just copy paste the gigs description. It will generate like a cover letter, a very good cover letter under
Hmm.
600 words.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I know like long cover letter, no one is going to read. So I have
True.
added the limit of 600 words, and it will generate a cover letter. So that paced up my speed of applying to many gigs very much. Like I just
Very
need to
much.
like take a opportunities description, put it out there, it will generate a cover letter, I can apply, and then I will follow up with them. So that's how,
Okay.
like, one of the use cases I saved a lot of time, because cover letter takes a lot of time. You have to craft everything for each person, like making it very for that particular gig,
Hmm.
right? That personalization, and I
Hmm.
automated that thing. Second thing, there is not only related to AI tools, but
Hmm.
there are many tools which are out there which can help you save a lot of time, right? So there is short.so, which allows you to like design a very good mockups very quickly, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Then one thing that is Loom AI. So
Lume. Hmm.
Loom has also brought an AI into their video recording. So basically, you just need to record the
Meeting.
video,
Hmm.
the whole walkthrough of your project or anything, and it will
Hmm.
generate the heading. It will divide that video into different like timestamp. It will give the
Timestamp.
timestamp. It will give the description. So all these things will help you a lot with speeding up your process, right?
Speeding up the process. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have like certain prompts, because when it comes to designing product, I will advise anyone, to all the designers, to anyone, avoid lorem ipsum, because it is not the ideal content which you should be putting. You can just go to ChatGPT. You can create some content, some example content. It will help a content writer also to get the context of what kind of content they need to write, and it will
Hmm.
help you also to get the understanding like what kind of content, what is the ideal content which are going into the design, right? Because
Hmm.
if you see, especially when it comes to website, the like 60 to 70% of website is just text, right?
Hmm.
So you
True.
need to be good at that point, right? So
Hmm.
you can design your own prompts for getting the content out of ChatGPT, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So whenever approaching the AI,
Hmm.
look at like I look at it to like two perspectives.
Hmm.
Whether it is going to like help me with the speed of the work which I am doing, or it should
Hmm.
be like, improve my quality, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the cover letter product, it helps me speed up my process, right?
Hmm.
Where the Loom AI, it helps me improve the quality of the videos which I am making for
True.
the
True.
client,
True.
right?
In fact, I read about Lume AI by today itself. Like for people who have
Okay.
been using Loom for a long time, it has fastened their workflow like by 10 times. I feel because everything is
Yeah.
so automatic right now. You just
And I will
hit record
suggest
and it's done.
yeah, I will suggest like anyone applying to internships or jobs or any freelance gig, it takes no time to record a loom and it shows
True.
such a great intent of you to the recruiter that you are genuinely interested, that you are
Interested.
making a video, and
Yeah.
that video, making that video takes like 2 to 3 minutes, and
Yeah.
it will create such a drastic impact on the recruiter. Anyone viewing that video, they will get super impressed. I will
Super
suggest
impressed.
Loom to use Loom to like absolutely everyone.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I read a tweet about this and it makes total sense. One, it should be less than 2 minutes because I don't think otherwise people will watch it. Second,
Yeah,
whatever you do, try to personalize it as much as possible when you're applying to things. Then you will
yeah,
stand out, you'll automatically stand out from the crowd. I did the same thing with my resumes as well, which was like a long time ago. But this Loom thing, even I've been trying to incorporate as much as possible whenever I'm trying to communicate with some person. It just like makes everything easy.
yeah,
And you seem to have gone like on a super saiyan mode in terms of like applying to get clients and stuff. So I'm
yeah.
assuming you must have made a bunch of money. But I want to listen to this later. Before that, you're 20, right? So I'm curious. This is like the age of distractions, like the prime age to get lost in like the sea of distractions, the booze, the parties, the thrills of life. How do you keep yourself like focused?
I see this thing more of like perspective of the need, right?
Hmm.
So I will not. I'm not going to diss the generational wealth holders, but
Hmm.
there is no need for them to work, right?
Hmm.
Because they know that my father has earned a lot of money. Then I no need to like work, right? But
Hmm.
the thing is not with me. Like when I started working, there are some family financial crunches due to which
Hmm.
I got into this thing. It is not
Hmm.
like I am like just gotten into this thing of my own will. There was certain
Hmm.
need aspect also, right? And once
Hmm. Hmm.
you get into this thing, that you have need, right? And once you got through the need, then you need to realize that see, if you are making some money, you are coming under like top privileged people into India,
With people,
especially
yeah.
in India where the per capita income is low. So that is
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
kind of opportunity you have gotten to earn more money or like contribute to society, right? And if you are
Hmm.
not taking advantage of that thing and wasting your time in other stuff, then it is not the right thing for you to like anyone to do, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I
True.
have
True.
understood that thing. Like, if now I am at a stage where I can earn more money, then I should not stop myself or settle myself into this gap. Right? That is
Gap.
like one of the reason of leaving the job. Like when I left the job, I was also into this thing, like what I should do, whether I should do this or not. I
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
seeing job at such a young age, but I thought like let's take a leap, like
Hmm.
take that risk, and
Hmm. Hmm.
eventually it worked out. Like I was not expecting that much response. But when I got into the market, I saw okay, it worked for
Works.
me.
Got it.
Right?
Got it. And I remember you speaking about this concept of an umbrella distraction. So right now, what do you think comes under your umbrella and what doesn't? Like, or
Yeah.
rather, what should a 20-year-old person, like in their teenage years, should focus on according to you?
Yeah. So umbrella distraction means like I can I will keep it brief and explain it. So first is there are umbrella distraction, right? So while I am designing, I can get distracted by okay whether I should use this color, whether I should use this typography,
Hmm.
or I should use a certain icon set or not. So that comes under an umbrella, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
While
Hmm.
developing framework, I can be whether I should use this effect or not. That is all umbrella distraction. And there is
Hmm.
non-umbrella distraction, what we can call. That is like if you are doing designing and you are thinking about some movie and stuff,
Hmm.
that is non-umbrella distraction, which is not under your umbrella of the work you need to focus on. So
Hmm.
when you
Hmm.
are distracting within that umbrella, that is good for you. That is kind of healthy because you are having that second thought and not just going into like one flow, right? You are
Hmm.
disturbing yourself with other options available. That is kind of healthy also, but
Hmm.
not too much. But when you are
Hmm.
getting that kind of distraction where you are thinking of totally different thing, I
Hmm.
guess you could zone out yourself, take some break, right? Take break
Hmm.
and then got on to like on the work. So that works a lot for me. When I see realize this thing, okay, I'm getting distracted too much. I take the break, right? There is
Hmm.
no especially after, in this when I'm independent designer, there is no time foundation, right? I
Time
can wake
boundation.
up
Hmm.
at any time, I can sleep at any time. It's not like I have to present. this thing into stand up on the very next morning. Right.
Morning. Hmm. So what do
So
you do for like relaxing? Like how do you take a break?
I usually go to walk. That is like one of the best way for me going into the park and walk. I have no addiction of anything,
Hmm.
so
That's
currently
great.
walk.
Got it. And what I mean, you mentioned movies. What like inspires you? Like, from where do you think you get your creativity from? Is it like movies, games, anime? From where do you think you get your creativity from?
So one of like watching good movies.
Hmm.
I'm a like kind of cinephile,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I watch a lot of movie,
Hmm.
right? And second thing, what I will tell to anybody, if you want to really improve your design skills,
Hmm.
your design, just improve your taste.
Taste.
It varies
Taste.
from
Hmm.
everything, everything.
Yeah.
If you are consuming any content, see if there is more quality content available into the same field. So once
Hmm.
you will improve your taste, it will reflect in your design like automatically. That's I have
Automatically.
personally experienced. Once you will
True.
started using good design, really good design product like Loom, Contra, you will
Hmm.
automatically try to incorporate that aspect into the work which you are doing.
You're doing true. But the catch over
Right.
here is like what usually happens is when people look up to, not look up to, when people see work from the, let's say, the pros, they usually get disappointed that they're not at the level at those people. But the
Yeah.
right mindset is to think of it in terms of taste. You need to develop that,
Yeah.
okay, that is good. I need to be able to do that and try to incorporate as much as possible in the current work. And that's how you actually become good. So that's like great to hear.
Yeah.
One more thing was, you told you're a cinephile, right? Like, which movie as first of all, have you watched Oppenheimer, Barbie right now?
Mm. No, I haven't. Like this was the last month was like totally busy because it was the first month, and this month is also kind of busy.
Busy.
Busy, so I haven't gotten that time to like watch, go out and watch. But I will definitely watch it. I usually
Hmm.
watch it on like the Martin Scorsese. I
Hmm.
like that guy creating that stuff at that age, right?
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So watching his movies like Taxi Driver and that I like
Hmm.
that kind of cinema stuff more, and I'm less into this Avenger and Marvel stuff.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, I used to be a Marvel fan back in the day, but now there's so
Yeah.
much Marvel things right now. I'm just like bored of it. Is Taxi Driver your favorite movie, or is there any other movie that you're like that you think, like, speaking in terms of creativity, which movie do you think has like pushed your boundaries in terms of like you got to know what creativity can be?
What creativity can be? Uh,
For example, I
Talking
think Avatar was one of the movies, or a lot of
yeah,
animes can also be considered like that. Where, or for example, I think the movie that pushed me to, I mean, made me think so much in terms of creativity was Spider-Man. Right now, there is so
yeah.
much,
I have
uh,
also watched it, and I was
yeah,
like blown away with the like total aesthetic of that movie.
movie, yeah, and there's so many different aesthetics that is also there. There's
Yeah,
so many different type of aesthetics in the movie, and it's like a dopamine rush every second of the movie. So that's
and
fascinating.
the nitty-gritty of that movie, like when I used to like I usually walk in the SSR, and I noticed this thing in India. There is a lot of wires up there, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
wires are not properly managed, and
yeah.
I saw that thing replicated into the movie.
Movie,
Like
yeah, true.
it is shown that there are many wires, and I thought like, oh, like they are taking that bit of aspect and making it like visible into the movie. So
Visible
that is like you like suggest like brought up a really good movie in
movie.
terms
But
of
apart
creativity.
from Spider-Man, is there any personal favorite of yours?
I like in Indian movie thing. I like October. October
October.
is
Oh,
one
okay,
of
nice. The Varun Dhawan
really
movie.
good movie. Yeah, the
Hmm.
Varun movie, and I usually like the Anurag Kashyap movies also.
Movies. Yeah, true,
Like
true.
his whole genre of
Movies.
that. Right.
True. Even I'm a big fan of his work, but I haven't watched that many. But I can totally understand where you're coming
Yeah.
from. Okay, we spoke about all this. Now you're in Bangalore, right?
Yeah.
Was it totally because of that internship that you came here, or did you eventually want to move here?
Yeah, so when I started learning design, you will see most of the designers who are like teaching design on YouTube, they are from Bangalore. And most of the
Bangalore,
people
yeah.
who are creating this content for all the tech bros, which is like be it Varun Maya, be it Abhinav Chikara, and everyone is from Bangalore. So I used to think, okay, I have to move there. And
Bangalore is
luckily
the
I
place
got
to be.
invited. Yeah, the Bangalore is that USA of India. That's why I like kid coming from a small town, right?
Mm,
So that is there. But I will like luckily I got internship into Bangalore. Like so I was very happy with that fact,
mm, mm,
especially right.
mm.
So when I came here, that was like the only motive for me was for internship. But now even after I am freelancer and independent, I have the like
You
I
fell in
want to
love
stay
with
in
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
You fell in love with
Yeah,
Bangalore.
yeah, especially the kind of people you will able to meet.
Mate,
Uh,
yeah.
like I have gotten like 2 to 3 clients who are my clients. I can just
Mm.
go to them because they are also in Bangalore,
Bangalore,
right?
true. Mm.
Yeah, and also it also helps client get this get this understanding. Okay, this person is in Bangalore. That I can anytime like reach out to him or catch up with him and discuss some project because everybody knows like remote is remote and in person environment is in person environment, right?
Got it. I mean, which do you prefer? Do you prefer remote or do you prefer in-person office? Because one thing I'm finding hard with this freelancing is my clients are usually abroad, so it tends to
Yeah,
be like remote itself. And I used to love being an office person.
yeah.
So, what about you? Like, which do you prefer? And
Same,
like,
same with me. I'm a big like in person. Like I find the in person meet so much productive than any remote meet or any Zoom meet
exactly.
or Google meet. So the in person you can bring out emotions also, right? Okay,
Hmm, hmm,
I
hmm,
don't want this. Like you
hmm.
can express yourself much clear, right?
Clearly,
And
yeah.
even I also have like clients from US, Japan, and I also find that if this client was with me in person, we would have come to a much better product. But obviously, you have to work like remote for them. There is no solution. But I try to visit to the clients who are from
Sure,
Bangalore,
sure.
right? Right.
Bangalore. True, true, true. Even that's why when I reached out to you, I was like, we'll do our call, but we'll also meet because I love meeting people,
Yeah,
especially now that I work remotely most of the time. So that was one of the
yeah,
thing. And
definitely.
if I have to just rephrase that entire thing, I mean, Bangalore is a total vibe. So even for a few
Yeah,
years at least, like I've heard people telling me if you're in the US, you should go stay in New York for some time. If you're in India, you
yeah,
should come and stay in Bangalore for a few years because it's a
yeah,
total vibe. But we have been speaking so much about clients, right?
yeah,
And obviously, I would want to know some juicy things from you. So, when you're working full time and when you're working with clients right now, what's like the income that you expect? You don't have to give the exact numbers, but somewhere in the
yeah,
range would be good. I mean, what can people
yeah,
expect when they are going into freelance, and what can a person expect when they are going into a full time experience at
yeah.
your age?
So I'll start. First of all, when you are looking for internships, when I was looking for internships, luckily it was a bull market. Everything was growing, and every salaries are
Oh
on.
yeah, right. You were 2021.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct.
yeah.
Hmm, hmm,
So
hmm,
at
hmm.
that time, everything was really hunky dory. So that's why I got an pretty good range of that
Hmm.
internship. Like any, like you can like currently, if anyone is going, you can expect anyone anything from like 12 to 20, right? 20 to 30,
Hmm.
it can go. And it depends upon the
Hmm.
person also. If like first
Person.
1 year experienced person is going for internship, they can obviously charge more, right?
Hmm.
When I
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
working full time, I was earning like double of the internship, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was there. But when I left the job, I was pretty much in doubt whether I was able to like cover my salary up or not, or I have to like face some crunches on finances. But luckily, I was able to like earn almost double of the what I was making in the startup. I will not tell any or suggest anybody to take it as a motivation kind of thing. You have to take risk, but you have to take risk mindfully, right?
Hmm.
Even when I was like right now I'm freelancing, I'm able to like generate way more money what I was generating in job. But that should be not your primary goal. Just
Goal.
the earning it can be become a very major part of your decision. But major part of decision should be whether if, for example, if you are working at a startup which is paying you well, you are able to survive, and you are really creating an impact there, then that job is there is no harm in doing the job, right? And also after
Hmm.
I left job, I have gotten an offer of like 12 to 16 range, but what I have in mind is not just constantly
12 to
doing freelance
16? Wait, 12 to
LPA.
16 lakhs? Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, so you've got an offer, a full time offer with that range, is it?
Yeah, I have gotten one offer
Okay,
from
that's
one
nice.
other startup, but I denied
Hmm.
that offer because I have this, because my primary reason was never the money, but more of a, like
Money.
doing your own thing, building more stuff. So
Yeah.
what I have planned is not only just doing this freelance and independent thing continuously. I want to eventually turn it into an agency, and then eventually I want to build my micro SaaS products, which will like
Microsoft
can
products.
eventually turn into a startup, or it can
Hmm.
get acquired. So I have a lot of things in like to going, but I want to like execute on that front also. Like
Got it. But you just told me that you're almost making 2x of what you used to be making in your full time thing right
yeah,
now, right? But I remember seeing a video of Ansh recently where he speaks about this is true. Like when you're doing freelance, and especially if you can land clients easily, you can easily make a lot of money at the start. But
yeah,
how do you think about this in the long run? Because in this video, I remember him telling that over the long period, the people who are working at a company might as well make the same amount of money
yeah,
that a freelancer might make, because it gets that much harder to get clients down the line. So how
yeah.
do you think of that? Even like I mean, I got to know that you have like big ambitions, which is like amazing that at 20 years of age you're able to think all that. But
Yeah.
do you think of going to a nine to five after this for some time, or is it going to be just you and your like independent work?
So currently, I don't have any plan into going into 9 to 5. And again, like it is like what he said is absolutely he is talking from his perspective, right?
Hmm.
It can be true for some people, it cannot be
Cannot be
true
true
for,
for some people.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because if something is working for you, it's working for you, right?
working
You
for you.
cannot deny. You should not see. Even if I'm in some communities where people are like negotiating terms on freelance gig, which is like 2 to 3K. They are paying 2 to 3K for such a massive work, and
Hmm.
there are designers doing that work. And
Hmm.
I get amazed. Okay, why are you charging so less, right,
Hmm.
for
Hmm. Hmm.
such a big
True.
work?
True.
Right. So it is what it is. Like if something is working for you, it will work for you. There are chances, and I guess risk is everywhere, right? Even
Hmm.
if people who are working at Meta, people have spent 8 to 10 years, but eventually they got fired. There was no
Fine.
one telling me what you have contributed towards to Meta. We will retain you. We will pay you salary. So risk is
True.
everywhere. I might not get clients in long run, and there are chances of me joining startup and then eventually getting fired.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So you cannot predict anyone's future, but you can make some guesses, right? There are only guesses. The absolute
True.
truth is what is present here,
True, true,
right?
true. And I mean, you brought up a very good point, because I saw that happening today itself. I was speaking to a client where I was about to charge $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah,
Whereas in some community that I was part of, people are talking about for the same work that I would probably be doing. Maybe
yeah,
with like I might have more experience, so my rates are higher. But he was talking about earning in 10,000 to 20,000. So what I'm trying to tell here is, if you're not able to make money that you're aspiring to be, that means you haven't learned how to do it yet. Like Alex Hormozy
yeah,
speaks about this. You don't know what you need to do. So it's your job to figure out how to do that. If you want to earn more, it's your job to figure out how to do that. So
yeah.
yeah, that's actually
You
I mean
know, and this can be one like this can also become a like very good thing of learning something.
yeah,
So
true, true.
what I will like anyone suggest anyone to do, if you are learning a skill and you are confident on you have learned the basics of that skill, try and pick up a freelance project
Freelance project,
related
yeah.
to that skill. And the pace of the learning will increase so much because you have to figure out so much to give that thing to client, because you have first of all the accountability set. You have money, a reward system already set there. So once you will pick out that gig and you will start working on it and figure out stuff, and then you come up with the output, you will have so much at the end of that freelance gig. You will have learned many things in such a short period of time. You
Period
will
of
have the
time.
experience, and most of all, you will have the confidence that I can do
Confidence.
stuff, and that confidence is everything. That's all you need. Like recharging to a client and asking that amount is because of the confidence we have in our work, the quality
Yeah,
of
yeah,
work. Right. So
yeah.
that eventually helps a lot when you pick up a gig.
True. I mean, that's I mean, fantastic advice, because I remember seeing a Johnny Harris video. Do you know Johnny Harris, like the Vox editor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
him telling that in one video, the way he learned to do all those cool animations was because he just applied to an internship or a work back in 2013 or something, where he
At a
didn't know
US
how to do it.
government.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
a
He
US
didn't know how to
government.
do. He didn't know how to do, but he just applied and he learned it on the go. And that
Right.
is a fantastic way to do it. Even for me, for example, I didn't know how to do WordPress. I told I can do it, and within 2 days I learned how to do WordPress, and I learned it also, and it was so much more satisfying when you actually do it. Like
Yeah.
Alex Summers, tells, like, outwork your self doubt. Like, you just do it, and your self doubt will decrease, and your self confidence will also increase. Got it. And I think this is pretty much it. One last thing I would want to know from you is, we are all designers, right? So what's like a favorite font of yours?
So my favorite font currently, when I am working, some of my favorite font will include, first of all, the Clash Grow Stick,
Hmm, hmm,
right?
hmm, hmm.
There is Satoshi also. It is like one of my go-to font, Satoshi.
Hmm.
Then I will like, it is generic, but Inter works a lot.
Question.
If you are in doubt, like
Go for
this is
Inter.
the type, yeah, go for Inter. Don't think. Eventually, if you got any font, you can replace it with Inter.
Inter.
But start with Inter. It will help you a lot.
Got it.
Right.
And which product do you like using? It can be a mobile product or web product, any kind of product. Which product do you like using?
I really like using Contra. First of all, it gets me client, and second of all, it is very
Hmm,
it is designed very greatly. Like, you can
hmm.
do from contract to landing clients to agreements to settling payments and settling foreign payments also. You don't need to make any
Totally.
separate account. So that is Contra. Second, I love using Framer
Hmm.
because I will like the Framer team. They are no shy. They just replicated the Figma to
Into
Framer
paper, yeah.
into Figma, and it helps a lot. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you will get the feel of using Figma, but you are creating much more impact. Like, if you
Impact.
see the design also have the impact, but actual side has more impact than a design
You
side,
are
right?
not just designing, you're actually building something that's even more
Yeah, you are
satisfying in a
actually
way.
building something. Yeah,
True, true. If you know how to layout, if you know how to use auto layout on Framer, Figma, you're like
yeah,
set. You can just like
good to
use
go.
the
Yeah, good
plugin
to
and good to
go.
go. Got it. I think the
Yeah.
one thing, if the entire thing, if you have to summarize, be on Contra and your like life is sorted. I think that is what Prathamesh should tell in just a summary of this video. Is it?
No, no. Like, you have to figure out many stuff on
Hmm,
Contra as well,
hmm,
because the what we can tell is, like, learn skills. Just
hmm,
that's matter. Upskill yourself continuously. Like,
hmm.
if I was there who have learned design, if I haven't tried Framer, I
Hmm.
wouldn't have able to make that money or like have that much freedom right now as a
Hmm.
designer. Right? Just because I
Hmm.
have learned Contra and upskilled myself into learning Contra,
Hmm.
that helped me a lot, right?
Lot.
Because
Hmm. Hmm.
what will happen is, if you have the vertical skill, so
Hmm.
uh, there is horizontal skill and there is vertical skill. Once
Hmm.
you have the vertical skill, what will happen is, if you are designing and you are also developing, you can get a client which is able to pay you way more, because
Hmm.
you are taking charge of both designing and developing. So
Developing.
he is ready to pay you way more just for in comparison to just doing design or just developing. Now
Got
you
it.
are taking a much bigger part of that whole pipeline. It will help you a lot.
True. That is, I mean, that is absolutely true. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. This was a lovely conversation speaking to you,
yeah,
Prathamesh.
great.
Hope to meet you soon as well in real life. Is there anything that you want
Yeah.
to tell the audience, and where should they reach out to you, first of all?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. You can find just Pratham UX link on Twitter, and on LinkedIn you can just search Prathamesh Agrawal. You will find my account. One thing which I will suggest everyone to subscribe to Soon's channel, because I have seen the quality of content, especially when it comes to editing. It is not like just another content, generic content. He's bringing actual people who have the experience and the edits. I like your editing type, really.
Thanks, bro. I mean, this is beginning. I just want to keep growing on this because
Yeah,
one, design is my thing that I really like, but the other thing I also enjoy is video editing.
yeah.
So
I
here
guess
and there,
it
I
will
want
help.
to keep.
It must be helping you a lot. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
the design, you know some fonts, how to use the color theory, and
Exactly,
also it will all mixing up and helping you a lot. I can
exactly.
see that designer reflecting in your videos.
Videos, exactly. I mean, it's both creative pursuits of mine, so I didn't want to do the same
Yeah,
thing the entire day, so this is something I do on the side as well. But that
yeah.
was exactly lovely speaking to you. When people reach out to you, I hope they just don't send a hi. I just they hope they've taken a lot of information from this video. It will help them, and they reach
Yeah.
out to you with being grateful. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.